Hi Cancer, my name is Olivia and this is my channel OJC Astrology, and this is going to be for Cancer Rising. This is for Cancer Ascendant, and before I even get into this fully, I want to mention that if you're Cancer Rising later in the degrees, you may want to check out Leo Rising. If you're early Cancer Rising, you may want to check out Gemini. The degree is very important. And the next thing I want to mention before we get into this is that personally, as an astrologer, I believe the ascendant is the most important point in the chart because it maps out all your houses. So if you're a Cancer ascendant, that means your DC is going to be Capricorn. The 7th house cusp, it means your 10th house is going to be Aries. Your 10th house cusp is Aries. And your IC, your 4th house cusp, is Libra. So Cancer risings in a way are healers, but the reason I want to call you all the protectors is because here's the thing. Cancer rising, when you think of Cancer in the 1st house, you could think of this as a moon in the 1st house. So Cancer risings are highly psychic. You're highly receptive to other people's emotions, and you're very emotional. You're very aware of your emotional state of being. You guys wear your heart on your sleeves in a way. You guys have emotions, and nobody can really tell you how to feel because you feel how you feel. And the thing about Cancer is that it's the crab, right? So protector, the reason I say protector is because you guys protect yourself. Cancer has the shell and their claws, and you guys protect yourself. You guys are the type of people that you have certain emotions and triggers, and you have to kind of protect yourself because you know that you are intuitive and that you are psychic and sensitive. Now the thing is that you have Capricorn in the 7th house, and Capricorn in the 7th house is you seek stable partnership. You want people in your life to have their own foundation, to be successful. You seek that type of security. But the thing is that Cancer rising has the Aries in the 10th house, so you're here to get it on your own. A lot of the times Cancer risings secretly want someone to come in and save them in a way, because the Libra is in the 4th house. Like, you guys want people to meet you on the same page and provide what you want. You guys want people to meet your needs. You want people to communicate with you. You want to establish stable bonds. You want to have stable relationships. You want to feel secure in your emotional life. But the thing is that your 10th house, what you're striving for in this life is Aries, is this independence. You know, you guys are here to be independent, and this is why I say protector, because Cancer risings are the type of people who will stand up for something. They will stand up for what they believe in, and when they really want something, they will go and get it. And if they do have some type of established bond, they will protect it at all means. Like, these people protect themselves. So this is why these people are not gonna just let anyone into their life, because they're very, very concerned with their emotional state. Now, with Libra being in the 4th house, you guys love relationships. You love to connect. You love to feel like you really, really match with someone. You know, you love to feel like you can talk and have fairness and have open conversation. Like, you guys love love. You love love. You want to build towards love. You want to have these stable connections. But one thing that I want to say is that the 12th house of Cancer is Gemini. So you have the spirit of Gemini. Cancer risings, you need to know that unconsciously you are a Gemini and you carry the spirit of a Gemini. And the sign that you learn most from is your 9th house, which is Pisces. So the reason that you can learn so much from Pisces in the 9th house, and this is for all of the rising signs, this is for everybody, whatever your 9th house is, this is the sign that you can learn the most from. So what Cancer rising can learn from Pisces is that there is a lot of different ways to connect. There are a lot of ways to explore. There's a lot of things to believe in. There are a lot of emotions to feel. And sometimes Cancer rising, because the 4th house is Libra, you guys can get caught in your life where you feel like if something isn't good, it must be bad. And if something is bad, it cannot be good. And you guys can get into this very dual, singular way of processing your emotions, and it blocks you off from all that you can experience, because the ninth house is Pisces. So Cancer rising has to open up. Cancer rising can't stay in the shell. You guys have to, like Cancer rising with Pisces being in the ninth house, this is like, you have to sometimes give things and people a chance, even if you have no idea what it means, even if it's not making any logical sense. Like, Cancer risings have to get out of their comfort zone if they really want to evolve. And Pisces is what teaches you that, is that there's a million emotions to experience. There is a million type of people in this world. There are a million ways to see things, a million ways to feel about things. There's a past, a present, a future. All time is like this. It's not linear. So Cancer, sometimes you guys are so focused on protecting yourself and being strong, you know, and being like this sacred temple. You guys are very sacred people. Like, you know, you're not gonna necessarily just talk about your personal life. Hell no. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are not just gonna like go out and try to connect with people. Like, with Capricorn in the 7th house, you feel like if something is not going to be long lasting, you don't even really want to bother. Like, you don't even really want to bother. But the thing is that you miss out on a lot, because 9th house being Pisces, you learn so much from the things you will never understand. You guys will learn so much from like dreamy shit that has no logical point, that has no rational point. That's what makes you guys come out of the shell and really like blossom. That's what makes you guys really tap more deeply into your spirituality and into your more intuitive nature, is when you realize that there is so much more than that you allow yourself to participate in. Another thing is that with Libra being in the 4th house, a lot of the times you guys like come from a background where you were held to certain expectations. Like, you come from a home life where either there was sibling issues, like one sibling got more attention than you, or you maybe got more attention. But either way, there was this feeling of being split or being shared, or either you were only seen, they wanted to see you in this light, not this light. Or sometimes this comes down to you were the child that was the medium, that was the peacemaker. So people didn't necessarily focus on how you felt. They just wanted you to be there as the medium to kind of balance things out for how everyone else felt. So on an emotional nature, Cancer is looking like, for that to be Libra and the 7th house to be Capricorn, you guys are looking for someone who's devoted to you. You guys really want someone who's focused on you, who is devoted, and who wants your love, and who wants to build a real foundation. Because deep down with the Libra in the 4th house, you guys feel like you've always had to compromise yourself, or you've always had to sacrifice yourself, and you kind of had to be this medium, or you've had to be this like fair person who considers everyone's feelings. And then it's like you feel like, well, what about my feelings? And this is why I say protector, because Cancer 1st house, you're protective of your emotions, you're protective of yourself, because you know deep down you believe in self-sacrifice. You guys have that sacrificial spirit with Libra in the 4th house. You know that if you really love someone, you will meet them halfway. You will sacrifice yourself for another. You will see something from someone else's point of view to really be there and show up. Like, you guys have it in you to do that. So this is why you don't want to necessarily connect with a whole bunch of people, because you don't want people to use you. You don't want to get outside of that comfort zone, because you know that people may take advantage of it. And it doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel safe. Like, Cancer rising, don't try to push something out of a Cancer rising. You know, don't try to tell them how they feel, because you don't know how they feel. With the 4th house being Libra, Cancer rising feels this way and they feel this way. They've already thought about if it goes right or if it goes wrong. Like, they have already considered a lot of things. So when you come to a Cancer rising and you try to make them feel like you didn't consider something, or you didn't care about something, or you're trying to tell a Cancer rising what they feel, that's when you're gonna get the claws, and that's when you're gonna see someone come out and really aggressively assert and protect themselves, because they feel like they're not being received well. And Cancer, you know, think of it, the moon rules Cancer. So this is like people with moon in the 1st house. I already said that, but it's like, it's that feeling of they go through a lot of phases. they're constantly in this state of, you know, processing. These people go through a lot of, they release a lot, they receive a lot, they go through a lot of cycles. These are people of the moon, so they go through a lot of processing. They go through a lot of changes in their life. But the thing is that they are the only ones who really know it. Like, they might not necessarily show you or tell you. This is just stuff that they process on their own. Think of the moon card in the tarot. This is like a Cancer rising. Like, it's like what the truth to a Cancer rising, only them and the moon know. Like, only them and the moon really know. So don't ever come at a Cancer rising, because then they're going to get very protective and very defensive. And the thing is that with the 12th house being Gemini, Cancer rising is very, very well adapt to other people. Like, these are the type of people that can go into a room of strangers and somehow people feel comfortable with this person. People feel like this person understands. People feel like this person is really cool and this person kind of just gets it. Like, people feel very comfortable with you. And this is because Gemini is in your 12th house. So you're very adaptable. You're unconsciously adaptable. You unconsciously are able to see how other people think, what other people's truths are. And this is why the 12th house Gemini and the 9th house Pisces, Cancer Ascendant in their greatest form is open-minded, is a dreamer, and is open to things that is not necessarily here based in reality. They're open-minded to a way to where they don't limit themselves to what they can see with these eyes. They don't limit themselves. An evolved Cancer rising understands that with the 12th house Gemini, all people think differently. And they understand that with the 9th house Pisces, all people have different experiences that serve them, whether it makes sense or not, whether it's something that happened unconsciously or consciously, whether it was real or it was an illusion. People have their own experiences and people think the way they think. Cancer rising understands this. So the thing is that Cancer rising wants to feel like they can trust. They want to feel like, with the 4th house Libra, they want to feel like if they do this for you and they are here for you and they show up for you and they are in this relationship with you, that you will provide. You know, that you will keep your word. Like, that means a lot to Cancer rising, that you are trustworthy with your word, impeccable with your word. And another thing is that they don't like things to feel, they can get very, very like resistant. When a Cancer rising starts to feel like they're not being really understood, or someone is trying to use like an upper hand over them, they start to waver and go left and right like the crab. They don't want to be in that position, and they just might attack. They just might lash out, because they would rather lash out and push you off than for you to come near and overcross their boundaries, and now they really have to protect themselves. So don't underestimate a Cancer rising. Don't, because you don't know that these people are very sensitive and they're very psychically aware. And they're really not here to waste their time. They don't really want to waste their time with people, because they know like, they have felt a lot. Like, throughout their life, people have made them feel things. They have felt a range of emotions, and they have felt emotions that completely took them over, and they have felt emotions that were really beautiful and positive, and they have felt emotions that were really negative and unfair. Like, these are people who have experienced a lot of emotional turmoil. So the thing is that as they evolve, they get wise and they realize like who they should be around and who they should not be around, what type of things they should express and what things they shouldn't express. Like, they learn to become very emotionally calculative because it serves them. But one thing that I also want to mention about Cancer rising is that a lot of the times you guys are super, super emotionally invested in yourself, and on a subconscious way, because your 4th house is Libra, you're looking for people to balance with you or to complete you. Like, sometimes Cancer risings in life don't realize they're looking to be completed until they really, really realize that they're already complete, which is why the 10th house is Aries. You are already here as this, you know, individual spirit. Like, you are here to have your own personal legacy. And sometimes Cancer rise, not everybody, but I know that there are a lot of Cancer risings who like get married because they think that this is the right thing to do and this is stable and this is something they believe in, and then they end up getting a divorce and they go out and become their own person, and they realize that wasn't right for them. Because like I said, who do you learn from? Pisces in the 9th house. You have to realize, Cancer rising, that not everything is all mapped out and sacred like how you believe it's supposed to be. Like a lot of Cancer risings have these traditional values and views, and then it's like you get challenged because it's like, let me put it this way also. Sometimes Cancer risings, when you're all in a relationship, you feel like you're not succeeding. And this is because you are here to be this sovereign, independent spirit. And you can't rely on people to provide security for you. And you can't morph your emotional nature to merge with others only. Like Cancer rising really has to realize that they're a lot more adaptable than they feel. Now, because of the 12th house being Gemini, you guys, like, you can learn from a lot of people and you can learn from a lot of experiences. At the end of the day, you guys really, you know that there is no one truth. Like Cancer risings, because the 12th house is Gemini, you guys understand that there is no real truth. And this is why your 6th house is Sagittarius. And this is why Cancer rising can go anywhere and see all different people's way of living and cultures. And you guys will come to the same conclusion that you never really know. Like, there is no truth. There is no real truth. But the thing is that you guys will hold yourself to this standard of that you have to be this like sacred being. You know, you have to like have this standard for relationships. You have to have this emotional, and it's because those cardinal things, you know, or even your 10th house Aries, you feel like you have to be the best. You have to be the boss. You have to make this amount of money. You guys hold yourself to these powerful standards when it's like, deep in your unconscious self, you realize that like nothing is as it seems. And you realize that like through every single experience in your life, you grow and evolve into a more ripe version of you. So with Cancer rising, the thing is that for as much as you protect yourself, one of the best ways that you can protect yourself is to let go of your expectations and to let go of your ideas of how things should be. Because when you guys are really truly in your nature and you are coming from an honest space and you are at that sacred energy and you are conscious of yourself and in tune with yourself, things just line up for you all. Like water risings don't have to do much because things kind of just flow to you. Like the water rising, this means that you lead your life emotionally. You have emotional motivation. Your identity and a lot of who you are is based on what you're emotionally driven by. So when you guys really realize that, you realize that everything that you seek is seeking you. And this is why you don't necessarily have to put these guards up. Because with Capricorn in the 7th house, you guys have these guards up. And you have a right to. Because of that 4th house Libra, you guys understand that like you can't just be vulnerable with everybody. You have to kind of see where people are coming from. Like you guys understand that. But it's like, don't close yourself off. Even though another thing is Cancer rising sometimes does close themselves off. Look at the moon. The moon has void times. The moon is sometimes in a balsamic phase. Sometimes it's full. Sometimes it's new. Sometimes it's waning. Sometimes it's waxing. So Cancer rising has a lot of ups and downs. And ultimately what you guys really are seeking is for the world to take you as you are. That's your Aries 10th house. And what you want is someone who's never going to give up on you, which is your 7th house Capricorn. And what you crave is for someone to always consider how you feel. And this is really what you're seeking in this world. But you're very psychic. Always trust your instincts. If you feel like you shouldn't go somewhere, don't go there. If you feel like someone is stepping over you, you need to do something about that, Cancer, because resentment can build in you guys and you will lash out on people because you weren't protecting yourself. So I'm not saying keep yourself in the shell forever, but what I'm saying is that you guys are highly psychic and aware and in tune. So use it to your advantage. Use it to your advantage every time that you can. But you guys are really, really comforting people. People feel like, and that's 4th house Libra. All types of people feel like they can talk to you. They feel like you have answers for them. They feel like they can trust you with things. And then people also feel like you are this individual. Because of your 10th house being in Aries, like, people always feel like you are who you are. People always have this feeling towards you that, like, they can't change you. And that is what you don't want. You don't want anybody to try to change you. You want someone to really accept you as you are, because of the Gemini 12th house. Like, unconsciously, you really feel that way. You feel like people come in all types of characters, and that everybody is still worthy of the same respect, and everybody is still worthy of love. So it's like, Cancer, you have to always be the changes you wish to see, and you always have to treat people the way that you want to be treated. But always remember, at the end of the day, you are the one that's going to protect yourself. And when you do partner with the right people in friendships, these are going to be long-lasting people that you know really, really will support you and will defend you. If people won't really truly defend you, Cancer, get them out of your life. If people wouldn't speak out of pocket to defend you and like really show up for you, don't keep being around them. Like, don't give people the benefit of the doubt, because deep inside you feel like some people never did that for you, or some people wrote you off and didn't give you the benefit of the doubt, or they judged you. So you will come to sometimes like overly be there for people, and then you're not there for yourself. So above all things, Cancer, protect your nature and your emotions. And through this, you have to always come from this pure space. Because you guys are also like these priestesses, these priests and priestesses, but overall it's the protector, because you guys will protect. And when you care about somebody, that the Libra 4th house, you think about this person. You think about how they feel. 7th house Capricorn, you think about what will make a person feel secure, what will make a person feel stable. You invest in your relationship. So you guys have this beautiful energy that always never ever short yourself. Never ever allow yourself to be amongst people who don't see you for this sacred nurture that you are. Because you guys are really truly beautiful people, and you can't share yourself with just anybody. Even though you could relate to anybody, it doesn't necessarily mean you should share yourself. So that's what I have for Cancer rising. You guys are really like the moons. You guys are the luminary people. You guys have this sort of moon quality to you. People are very, very drawn to you. They're very receptive of your energy. You make people feel safe. You make people feel secure. And what you deserve more than anything in this world is to feel safe and secure with yourself in your own skin in this world, as an Aries midheaven, as a real powerful individual. And really, on an unconscious level with Gemini there, you decide your truth. And you also know that the truth is ever changing. So in that, you have freedom to really be who you are. And yeah, that's what I have for Cancer rising. So I'm sending you all my love. I hope that this resonates with you. Again, like I said, you may want to watch the one before and after, depending on the degrees. But I love my Cancer risings. Now we're going to go into Leo rising. Thank you guys for being here. Like I said, my name is Olivia, and this is my channel, OJC Astrology. And thanks for watching.